First, let's pay homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dukden Dorji, homage to the three jewels of the altar, and homage to the main deity of the good practice tonight, Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan. Sumu, Danzen Katso, Dukden Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening. How do you do?
Aishiteru. 사랑해. Hola amigo. Que quiero mucho. Sukoin. Ichiban. Kimochi. Jumi. Yapi. Pirin pirin. Konbanwa.
Today we are celebrating Golden Mother's birthday. And Golden Mother is Grandmaster Lu's personal deity or yidam. And she's the first one who got Grandmaster to start the Dharma propagation, the first yidam or personal deity. And without Golden Mother, there would not be Sangyen Lu. Without Sangyen Lu, there will not be True Buddha School. Without True Buddha School, then whatever is happening now, Dharma teaching, discourse, exposition will not be here. So the Dharma wheel, we can say that the Dharma wheel was started by Golden Mother. Therefore, we respect, highly revere Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan. The Venerable Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan. Every day, the first deity that I visualize is the great universal golden sage, Damo Jinxian. Our time is limited because just now the machine was broken. So let me share a joke and then we will do the question and answer. The husband got home and saw the wife wearing makeup, and he looked at her and said, it's my first day at work and I found the woman there was really incomparable to you. You're young and beautiful. And the wife was so happy. After so many years, finally, you admire me like before wedding. And then the wife asked, so what is your new job? Working at the senior home.
好了，我们进入你问我答。
Now we will do the Q&A.
这是台湾
From Taiwan,
莲花正宗。
莲花正宗。
他写佛陀好。
But he wrote, homage to the Buddha.
弟子莲花正宗。
Your disciple, 莲花正宗,
根本上师
wholeheartedly pay homage to the lineage root Guru.
世尊回答弟子
I sincerely ask Grandmaster to answer my question on the visualization of Grandmaster to be sitting on top of our heads. Should we first visualize golden sand and perfume sea on top of Mount Sumeru, a white lotus, on top of which a palace appears, and then Grandmaster appears inside the palace? Is the so-called palace a Leizang temple? Also, should we visualize Grandmaster's physical image, or your statue or painting, or an image of the lotus lights of Mastery Buddha, or Padma Kumara, or is it one Dharma brother Kao Ming Lu saw, which is a transparent Dharma body, or what we can imagine to be a shining image? If the face of the statue or painting or any image is different from Grandmaster in person, may we visualize the face of the statue, painting or image or photo of Grandmaster? If I lie on bed and I want to visualize Grandmaster to sit on top of my head, should I sit up first, or may I visualize it while lying in bed? Can I visualize Grandmaster to be on top of the heads or inside our hearts? Are they the same? We ask the Buddha to advise.
Some 好了，我移给莲花正宗。请问你的正宗如何写？
Let me ask 莲花正宗, how do you write your name 正宗?
还是郑成功的郑？
Is it upright or is it
什么是宗？
like 正?
是时钟的钟？
Is it
敲响的
zong
钟？
like clock
还是宗教的
or
宗？
bell or like religion? Which one?
这个问题
What kind of questions is this?
这个叫做什么呢？在鸡
What
蛋
is this
里面
called?
挑刺，
It's you're picking
对
a
不对？
bone
鸡蛋
inside
里
the
面挑
neck.
刺。好了，你既然有问，
However, since you ask, then Grandmaster will answer.
观想师尊住顶，
Visualizing Grandmaster to
不用那么
sit on top
啰
of
嗦。
our heads doesn't
什么
have to
金
be
沙
so
布地向水海，
lengthy. Golden
西
sand,
云山顶
perfume
出白莲
sea,
花，
and Mount
莲花上
Sumeru,
生出宫殿，
and then a
宫
white
殿中
lotus,
出生
which
师尊，
a
宫殿
palace
是观想
appears,
雷藏
and
寺
then
吗？
Grandmaster appears
哪个
inside
雷
the
藏寺啊？
palace, and the
雷藏
palace
寺有
is
很
Leizang
多啊，
temple. But
你
which
是
one?
哪一个
There's
雷
so
藏寺啊？
many Leizang temples, or there's so many two Buddha
宫殿
temples.
当然不是雷藏寺，
Of course, it's
宫殿
not
就是
the
宫殿，
Leizang temple. A palace is a
雷藏寺就
palace,
是雷藏寺，
and Leizang temples
很简单，
are Leizang temples. Very simple.
不必这么麻烦。
It doesn't have to be so convoluted.
你只要把这个师尊，你要观想哦。另外还有一个问题，这个
Oh,
是
and
最
one
早
more question.
观想师尊的肉身吗？
visualizing Grandmaster's physical body,
自在佛像吗？
or
莲花童子法相吗？ 高门六
a
师兄看
statue
的
or
透明像
painting
吗？
or image of the
或是
lotus-like
想象力
self-mastery
发出来
Buddha
的
or
光明的
Padma
法相？
Kumara, or the one
如
that
果
Dharma
金
brother
身法
Gao
相
Minglu saw, which is the
画像
transparent Dharma body, or what we imagine to be a shining
还是
image,
观想师尊照片的脸也可以。
or is it okay to visualize
告诉你很简
Grandmaster's
单，
face from a photo?
你喜欢师尊像什么，
Let
你
me
就
tell
观
you,
想什么。
then whatever you like about Grandmaster, then that's what you visualize.
你喜欢哪一个像，你就观想哪一
Whichever
个像。
image that you like, then you visualize that image.
不要由我来讲，你又想不出来。
I don't have to tell you, otherwise you may not
你
be
喜
able to
欢那个像，
think of it.
其实我想自己
So
也不容易耶。
whatever, it's not easy for me to
很简
visualize
单哦，
myself.
我告诉你哦，
It's
你
very
想别
simple.
人很简单，
It's very
一
easy to
想就
think
想
of
到了。
another person quickly. You would think of her or him.
对不对？想别人
Right.
很简单啊。
It's very
那个
easy
同门，我想同门
to
的想很
think
简
of
单。
other people, like the disciples.
Japan, 卡哇伊，你用卡哇伊，木苏美，就出来了，对不对？哎，想
A
自己呀、
cute Japanese
想自己看
girl,
看，
then
想得出来吗？
immediately you think of her.
很奇怪哦，你
But
想
if
别人
you
都想得
think
出
of
来哦，
yourself, it's hard, right?
你想
It's
自己
very
想不出
strange.
来哎。
It's very easy
我
to
想我
think
的
of
像，
other people, but to think of
糟
yourselves
糕
is
了，
hard. Let me
我
visualize
想我祖
myself.
母想得出来，
I can think of my grandma,
想邻桌嘛，我想不出来，啊，想我自己就想不出来。
but I cannot think of myself. I
有时
cannot.
候你想想看你自己是，有时候看
So
看镜子里
sometimes
面的自
imagine
己好像不
yourself.
像自己，
You look at your own image in the mirror and it doesn't look like
你
you,
说对不对？
right? Don't you think?
你喜欢想什么就想什么，
So whatever you like to
就是这个，
visualize, then
不
you
要讲那么
visualize
啰
that.
嗦一大堆
It
啊，还
doesn't
有什
have
么
to be
高
so
明度，
long-winded. What calming do?
透明像。
Transparent image.
好啦，也不用金沙铺地，也不用
It
香水
doesn't have
海，
to be
也
to
不
have
用西
golden
明山
sand,
顶，
perfumed
生出白莲花，
sea, the peak
三
of
观
Mount
往生嘛，
Meru,
最基本
and
的。
White Lotus. So it's
你
like
想
the
出一个咒
three-step
日，
Dharmakaya emergence, right? Just the
它的
basic.
根本的咒日，
Just visualize the syllable
由咒日
first,
旋转，
the root syllable
出现师尊，
evolving to become
移到自己
Grandmaster
顶上
that
就
moves
可以
to
啦。
the top of your head. That's it.
It's easy，
It's
不用
easy.
外面啰里啰嗦。
It doesn't have to be so troublesome and
在
long-winded.
船上突然观想师尊驻点是要
If I lie on
坐起
bed
来
and I
观
want to
想，还是
visualize
躺着？
Grandmaster to sit on top of my
观
head,
想师
should I
尊
set
驻
up
点，
first or may I visualize it while lying in bed?
告诉你，
Let
你
me
就
tell
蹲着
you.
吧。
You can squat.
对不对？驻顶就驻顶，你也可以观想你自己坐起
So
来，
it's on
观
top
想
of the
师尊
head
驻
and on
顶
top of the
就
head.
行了。
You can sit up
这
and
很简
you
单
can
的事情，
visualize
你还要问
yourself
我，
sitting up and visualize Grandmaster on top of your head. Very simple.
可以直接观
Are you
想
still
师尊
asking
驻
me?
心吗？
Can I
驻心跟
visualize
驻顶相
directly
同吗？
Grandmaster inside our hearts? Are they
观
the
想师
same?
尊驻心，
To visualize
就是
Grandmaster on top of our heads or inside our hearts?
卢师尊已经融入你的心中。
To visualize Grandmaster to sit on
依
top of
照这
our
个释
hearts
法，
is that Grandmaster
它
has
变成一个
merged
光点，
into you,
经过你
into
的
your
中脉
heart.
到你的心中，
So according to
然
the
后
procedure,
跟你的
Grandmaster
身心完
becomes a
全
drop
一
of
样。
light
你一
and
刹那
enters into your
就
central
变成师
channel,
尊。
and then to get onto your heart chakra, and then becomes the
是观
same
想的一
size
个
as
一个
you, and
一
then
个
with the
层
split
级，
of a
一个
second
层级。
becomes
其
you and you becomes Grandmaster. Actually, it's okay to visualize directly that Grandmaster is inside our hearts, or directly visualize sitting on top of the heads. If you can merge, then you can visualize Grandmaster to be inside the hearts. Are they the same? One is still sitting on top of the head, and the other one has entered into your heart. They're not exactly the same. One is staying inside your heart, and the other one is sitting on top of your head. They are different. The third level, in the sky, in front of you, on top of your head, and inside your heart. 4 steps. They're all different. In the sky, in front of you, on top of your head, inside your heart. So, to be sitting on top of the heads or inside the hearts, superficially, on the surface, they are different, but the meanings are the same. Thank you. Lianhua Zhengzong from Taiwan. So are you satisfied with my answer? If you're not satisfied, I can also be long-winded. Malaysia, Lianhua Zheqi. Homage Grandmaster, I have something I don't understand. If I have been practicing Mahabala as my protector, but I need to use the 9-syllable mantra of Akalanata, but can I stop practicing Mahabala and start practicing Akala? Or can I have Mahabala or Padmakumara as the main deity for the 9-syllable mantra practice? Thank you, Grandmaster. Wish you great health and peace. Let me tell you, Lianhua Zheqi, if you want to use which is the 9-syllable mantra, and this is the mudra that I formed, right? What is the first mudra? Lin. Lin. Bin. Lin. Bin. 第二个手印什么手印？三三印呢？ The 3 mountain mudra. Bin. The second mudra. 斗则戒正列在前。这个临兵斗则戒正列在前，这是9日真言法的手印。临兵斗则列正戒在前 there, and those are the mudras for the 9-syllable mantra. You choose Mahabala as your protector, but sometimes you need to use the 9-syllable mantra, and you cannot just stop and then change to start practicing Akalanata. When you chose Mahabala as your protector, then you should use Mahabala's staff, the authoritative staff that can also be used similarly to the 9-syllable mantra practice. But if you have to use the 9-syllable mantra, then you can have Mahabala as your main protector and Akalanata as your secondary protector. So you practice Akalanata and Mahabala. So when you need it, you can either use Akalanata's practice or Mahabala's Dharma practice. That's fine. So it doesn't mean that because you practice Mahabala, so for Yamantaka, Vajra, or Chakrasamvara, or Akalanata, for the 5 great Herukas and the 8 wisdom kings or Vidyarajas, then you don't use any of the rest, you just use Mahabala. That's not the case. So you have practiced 100 kinds of Dharma practices, and then you use whichever that you need. So whatever that you use is Dharma. So if you want to use the 临兵斗则列真切在前, that's fine. So it's up to you how you want to practice. And the main deity, of course, is Mahabala. For you, the primary protector is still Mahabala. But if you think that you want to use Akalanata's Dharma practices, then you practice Akalanata. Like Grandmaster, Vajra, Mahabala. Mahabala is always alongside me. Yamantaka, I also have used them, and Akalanata. Sometimes I also use many deities. Like before, it was Mahabala who came out from my mouth. However, there was also Akalanata who rotated, revolving together. When the ghost from San Francisco came to attack, I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden I opened my mouth and I spat out Mahabala. And at that time I did use Akalanata to do the protection, boundary protection on 4 sides. And the sword of Akalanata revolves like a chainsaw, and that cut the heads of the ghost, and all the ghosts immediately ran away. And then the pole or the staff of Mahabala beat them until they peed in their pants, and the ones that could ran away, but the rest just died in battlefield. For 20 minutes there were bangs and bones inside the house. It was really quite intense, quite fierce. I was fine. Actually, I didn't take it seriously, and then all the stuff came to attack. So my temper rose. I'm very tolerant and enduring and compassionate. I had not wanted to tell on you that you took the tablets for the spirits or ghosts and then enshrine them inside your protector hall. No Buddhist ever did something like that. So it's like tombstones that was enshrined in the ghost temple, and then you took them back to your Buddhist temple, and then enshrine them as your protectors. That's just unbelievable. And Master Lian Dong's father renovated her protector hall, so all the spirit tablets at those ghost temples. Did you ever see the tablets? And they're on the internet. And she brought them to her protector hall, and the 5 major ghosts. And then she changed them into gods. But ghosts are ghosts, and gods are gods. Gods have virtues and fortune to become gods. And without virtues and fortunes, they are just ghosts. What were the names of the ghosts? One is called Xiaolin. There was a song artist that's called Xiaolin. That sang Bengawan solo from Japan. It's just playing guitar and sang. That was ninja. And what was the other one? 渡边一郎 and 三一五 were Japanese. Wang Jingquan was the owner of the cemetery. And what was the other one? What was the name? 林良知 You forgot? You've forgotten? Only this old man can remember them, but none of you younger ones can remember. These 5 major ghosts, she called them 5 great gods. She went to the Sutra chapter and told them, you have to pray to these 5 major gods. Sutra chapter in Miaoli. And she even changed the practice procedure that she included these 5 great gods. How come they are gods? I've never heard of them. You might as well go to Japan, to the memorials for those who died in battlefields and brought them all home. And Xiaolin. How come I got off track? It's fine. You can just use Mahabala and Akalanata. It's fine. Yeah. So that's my answer to Lianhua Zeqi from Malaysia. The mafia boss has tattoos. Most of them have tattoos, right? And told the tattooer, the master tattooer, please tattoo on my back. And the master asked, what do you want to be tattooed? And then the mafia boss said, a woman. And the
Why-
tattoo master
为什
asked,
么要纹女人？
why did you want to
铁道大哥
tattoo
讲，你没有听说过
a
吗？
woman?
每个
And the
成
mafia
功的
boss
男
said,
人背
didn't you
后都有
know?
一个女人。
Didn't you ever heard that behind a successful man there's a woman?
啊，师尊是不是成功的男人？
Is Grandmaster a successful man?
因为我有很多的成功。
Because I have so many successes.
后面不要讲，后面不要讲。
Let's not say what's
好啦，
afterwards.
现在讲那个《金刚经》啦。
Now we will expound on the Vajra Sutra.
告诉你，善现祈请分第二，
Let me tell you,
还没开始讲呢，
on the request of San Xian, which is chapter 2,
还是讲西菩提。
we haven't started
这
on
三个
that.
字要讲很久，我告诉你，西菩提。
We are only talking about Subhuti, and it's going to take a long time.
他这上面给我写着，2021年8月21号要讲大圣正宗分第三。
It's
就
written
是我已
here
经讲完了。
on
No，
August 21st.
还没有讲完。
It's on chapter 3.
还要讲。
No, I haven't finished on this
佛陀教
Subhuti.
导西菩提
The
是非
Buddha
常用心的，
used all his heart to
他
teach
观察
Subhuti.
他的过去式。
He observed Subhuti's past
他过
lives.
去式我已经讲了，
And I have
他的
talked
这
about
嗔
his
心
past
非
lives,
常的重，
that
贪嗔
his
这个
anger
嗔心非常的重，
is extremely heavy,
所以他先教他
severe.
忍辱波罗蜜。
Therefore, the Buddha
我
first
讲了
taught
忍
him
辱波罗蜜。
the paramita of endurance. I
忍
have said,
辱波罗
I
蜜
have
又
talked
修
about
到
this.
什么程度？
And what is the
修
level
到
of
没
his
有忍
perfection
辱，
of endurance until you don't have any more endurance?
又是忍辱，又是忍辱，
Enduring,
又没有忍辱，
but at the same
这是
time,
怎么
no
一回事？
enduring. So what is it?
从忍辱修到没有忍
You
辱，
practice from endurance to no
但
endurance,
还是忍辱。
however, still enduring.
把这个忍辱两个字啊，就变成自然而然，
You
就
make
变成没有
the
忍辱。
endurance to become
我
natural,
们开始是忍辱，
then
忍辱
there's
是
no
受不
more
了。
endurance. In the
人家
beginning,
给
we
你侮辱，
endure. Oh, that's very hard.
你不
If
动，
someone insults you, you're unaffected.
很困难。
It's very hard for you to be unaffected,
大部分
unmoved.
一般来讲都是，哎，我们
Typically,
讲的就是叫做什么台湾话，
what was it?
这个像那个一堆烟哈，一堆那个灰一样，然后
Like a pile of ash.
来一阵风，
And
就
then with the puff of breeze,
来一阵风就把这个灰啊整个撒来
and the
啊，乱七
ash
八糟的。你本来是不动的，
scattered
啊随便
everywhere.
人家讲一句话，你就
So
像那灰啊呢，
you were
砰砰前
unmoved,
砰砰前
and
砰
then
砰前。
someone said something,
那
and
个
you're
台
like
湾话有一句话，
the ash
叫
flying
什
all
么？
over. There was a statement in
台湾
Taiwan.
出来的有一句话，
Any Taiwanese
灰
here?
狐醒，叫做灰狐醒，灰狐醒，你的灰狐醒，人甲你讲这句话，你就大扑扑跳啊，那叫做灰狐醒，
You're like the flying ash
对不对？还是你
with the
这个老头子想出来，你们这些台湾来的通通都不讲，
So it has to be me
那
who
就是
thought
灰
of it,
狐
but
醒，
you, the Taiwanese,
灰
didn't
狐
even
醒就是安
say
怎，
anything.
无你要甲你人一下，你就扑扑呛啊。
So like a short-tempered person, you know.
西菩提本来是这样子的。
And Subhuti was like that.
佛陀叫他忍辱波罗
And
蜜，
the Buddha
他
taught
忍
him
他忍
the paramita
他
of
是忍下
endurance.
来的，
And
忍
he
到最后变成
endured
自
it
然。
until
所有一切
eventually
的
it
毁
became
谤啊，
natural.
一切的那个攻
So all
击
the
啊，
slanders
一切的
and
什么来，
accusations and
他都很自然而
whatever,
然，
and he
就不会有
was
感觉。
very natural about
这个
it,
就是
and
不
he
是
didn't
忍
feel
辱，
anything.
不
So
用忍了嘛，
that's not
你
endurance.
已经自然了，还要
You
忍
don't
呢？
have to endure it anymore. It's
这
already
个才
natural
叫
to
做
you.
成功。
Only that
然后
would be
进一
called
步，
success. And the next
你到
step,
了无生华忍，就是
when
更
you
进一步
reach
了。
the
无生
realm
华
of
忍
the
就是更
unborn
进一步。
endurance, that's a
他
step higher.
西菩提是证得了无生华忍，
And Subhuti had attained the
所有的攻击都是没有攻击，
unborn endurance, that
所有的
all
诽
the
谤
accusations
都不是
are
诽
no
谤，
accusations, all the
所有一
slanders are
切的
no
侮辱都不
slanders,
是侮辱，
all the insults are no
都没有出
insults.
声，
He
哪有
didn't
侮
say
辱？
a word. They are not
这个叫
born,
做无声。
so how come they are insults?
你修到这种程度，
Only that
这个
would
果
be
位
called
才叫做
unborn.
无生华忍。
If you have reached such a state, that fruition would be called the unborn
没
endurance.
有诽谤，
No defamations,
没有攻击，
no accusations,
什么都没有，
no attacks, nothing.
这个会不会？
So, can you do it?
佛陀教他，
The
你
Buddha
证得了
taught
这个才
him,
叫做无生华忍。
if you attain this, then only after you attain this, it would be called unborn endurance.
这个当然现在这样子听你们听不懂，以后讲下去你们就会懂。
Of
金
course,
刚经
now
就是
you
讲
don't
这个，
understand. But if I continue my
这个是
exposition, then
其
you
中
would
的一种，
understand.
其
Vajra
中的一种，
Sutra is
其
talking
中的一
about
种。
this. This is
你
one of
根
them.
本就没有诽谤，你也不用忍辱，
Basically,
根
there
本
are
就没有
no
什么叫做
slanders.
攻
There
击，
is
你
no
也不
need to
用
endure
忍辱，
the
根
so-called
本什么都没有。
attacks or
既然什么都没
accusations
有，你忍
do
辱
not
做什么？
exist.
因
So
为没有
nothing
忍辱
exists.
才
So
叫做
what
忍辱。
what do you endure? Why do you want to endure? Because there is no endurance.
好
That's
啊，
why it's
西
called
菩提是
endurance.
修到这样子，才
So
这个才叫
Subhuti
做
practiced until
佛
he
陀
reached that.
佛教是无尽三昧，无尽，
And this is called that
没有所
Buddhism
谓的正义，
is the
没有所
samaya
谓
of
正
no
义，
contention.
那个叫
There
做
is
无尽。
no contention.
西菩提是证到这个，
So
最后他
Subhuti
得到
attained this.
空三昧，空三昧。
And
因为
lastly, he
无声啊，
attained the
你就可以
samaya of
证到空
emptiness.
三昧，也就是
Because it is
进
unborn,
入空
that's
的
why
禅定。
you attain the samaya of
因为
emptiness,
西
which
菩提
means
进
you
入了
enter the
空
meditation
三
of
昧，
emptiness.
这
And
个
because Subhuti entered
空的禅定里面，
into the samaya of emptiness or the meditation of
还有
emptiness,
两个现象产生出来。
there are two phenomena that appeared.
第一个现象，
The first
他在
phenomena
灵鹫山的岩洞里面，
was
住在岩洞里面
he
打
was
坐修
living
行，
in a cave
进
at the
入空
virtual
三昧
peak,
的时候啊，
practicing and cultivating, and entered
很多
into
的天
the
女出现在
samaya of
虚空，
emptiness. There many
给他撒
celestial
花，
maidens
散花，
appeared in the sky,
给他撒花，那个鲜花
showering
从
flower
虚空之中
blossoms
降
from
下
the
来，
sky,
把他的身体淹没了一半，
and to cover half of his
就
body
是
with the
淹
flower
没了一半，
petals.
身体淹没。他坐在那个天花
He
洒
was
下来，
sitting there,
洒到他身上，
and the flower
然后
showers
在他周围变
upon
成一个
him,
圈，把他淹没了
on
一
his
半。
body, and circle around
西菩
him
提
and
醒过来，
cover
看
him
天上，
halfway.
哇，
And
好
Subhuti
多
woke
天
up
花在洒下
and
来。
looked up and
他
saw
问
so
说：“你
many
们是谁啊？
flower
为什么
showers
在天空中给我洒
and
花？”
asked them, "Who are you? Why did you sprinkle
这
flowers
个时
upon
候
me?"
啊，这个
So the God, the king of the Indra heaven said, I am the king of the Indra heaven, leading all the Indra heavenly beings, because we knew that you entered into the samaya of emptiness, and in that samaya your whole body radiates light, and in heavens we felt that your light was inconceivable, so we came down and saw Subhuti in the samaya of emptiness, so we praise you, and then we shower the flower petals upon you. So why did you shower the flowers? Because you entered into the samaya of emptiness. And what is it? No afflictions, no attachments to self or ego, no afflictions, no attachments to the Dharma, and no attachments to self. So you enter into the samadhi of emptiness. That's why we sprinkle flowers upon Subhuti as a praise. And Subhuti told the heavenly beings the concepts of the samaya of emptiness, like what Grandmaster mentioned. No more I, no more Dharma, or everything, and no afflictions. And this way you enter into the samaya of emptiness. That's why the devas, devis sprinkle flowers as a praise. So in the sutra, remember, when Subhuti entered into the samaya of emptiness, the Indra, God, and the heavenly beings sprinkle flowers upon him. The second phenomena, one day Subhuti was sick, and you say, Subhuti had attained the samaya of no emptiness. How come he could still be sick? But he did attain the samaya of emptiness. He had no more self. But his physical body still had to follow the Buddha. When he's hungry, he still had to go for alms. He still had to eat. So human beings eat grains. Therefore, who would be free from sickness? Everyone, no exception. Please raise your hand if you've never been sick. You never catch cold. Please raise your hand. Everybody has caught cold before. If you don't feel any ailments on your body now, please raise your hand. Not whatsoever. No ailments whatsoever. Backache or some pains in your body? Are you short-sighted? No, still good. I got laser. That means you had it. But Grandmaster never had any laser treatment. I've never worn glasses. I just learned this Dharma practice every morning when I got up. I've taught you. Every morning when you got up, you stood by the window and you close your eyes and rotate them 14 times.
旋转要很大的旋转哦，
It's like a
眼
big
珠跟眼球
rotation.
一起旋转，
The
旋转14
eyeball,
下，闭着
the
眼睛旋转
eyeballs
14下，然后
rotate
再把
14
眼睛张开，
times. And then you
看最
open your
远的地方，
eyes, and then you look as
我
far as you
看最远
can.
的2个 double tree，
I look at the double tree at the
2棵树，
furthest distance.
我看最远的2棵树，我这样旋转了多少年多少年，
And
换
I've
来的
rotated my eyes for many
从来不戴
years,
眼镜，
many years. And what I
什
got,
么字我
I
都
don't
还
have to
看得
wear
清
any
清楚楚，再小
eyeglasses.
的字我也看得清楚。
I can see very clearly as small
这要
as
练多少人的
the
功夫哎，
prints. Doesn't matter how small the prints are. So you have to put in the effort.
所以这个也是一种那个，然后叩齿36通，
And then I tap
叩
my
到
teeth
最后牙齿也掉
36
了一颗，
times. Toward the
然
end,
后
I
再
still lost
那个
one.
贵清那个牙医师再把我连回去，
And Kui Ching,
我连回去不
the
能讲说我
dentist,
牙齿没有，
glued it back. So I could
没
not
有病，
say
我牙齿还
that
是
my
有病，
teeth
上
did
回
Mm.
not have
48 年
any illness.
啊，牙
Of
牙
course,
齿
I
发
did
炎也是有
have.
病，
Last time I got infection on my teeth.
另外我这个还鸣耳骨，
And I
耳
also
朵
do
蒙
the
住，
ear drumming.
耳朵蒙
Close
住鸣耳
your
骨，
ears with your palms.
像在打
And
鼓
then
一
you
样，
tap like you're drumming
打了70下，我打70
70
下，
times.
1
I
2
do
3
it
4
70
5
times.
6
1, 2,
1
3,
2 3
4,
4
5,
5 6
6,
7
7
啊，一共弄10次，1 2 3 4 5 6
times
7，
10.
有时候我是1 2 3 4 5 6，
Sometimes 1,
然后
2, 3, 4, 5,
阿弥陀佛，
6.
2 2
Ami
3 4
Tofo.
5 6，阿弥陀佛
2,
，3
2,
2 3
3,
4
4,
5 6，
5,
阿弥
6.
陀佛，
Ami
就
Tofo.
弄70下，
3, 2, 3, 4,
耳
5,
朵还
6.
好，
Ami Tofo for 70
眼
times.
力还好，
So
眼力
my
还好，
ears are still fine.
那
My
牙齿因为
eyesight's also fine.
因为
My
没办法
eyesight's
的事
also
情，
fine.
人生
And
70
teeth.
才开始啊，因为70开始什
Well,
么？
human life
70开
starts at
始这个掉
70.
牙齿，
Starts what? Start losing teeth.
还有呢关节痛、
And
腰痛，什么痛都来。
joint pain,
70开
back
始，
pain, all
就
starts
有
at
这病，
70.
别的都还好。所以须菩提
Other
生病，
things are still okay. So Subhuti was sick,
这个第4天又来了。
and the Indra god came again.
他生病的时候，这回须菩提就问他：“我生病了，你们来做什么？”
And Subhuti asked him,
我来唱歌
So
给你
I'm
们。
sick. Why did you all come? And they said,
第4
We
天他
came
说
here
我来
to
唱歌
sing
给
for
你
you.
听。
Indra
他就
god
唱
said. So he
这
sang,
个所有的天人呐，
and
在虚
all
空
the
中
heavenly
唱
beings
歌给须菩提听
sang
啊，
in the
安慰他。
sky for
须菩提
Subhuti to
听啊，
comfort him.
哇，
And after
心
listening
开
to
啊，
them,
心花朵朵开，
he felt very
心为亏，心不花，心为亏。
his
心
the
花一
flowers
开
in
啊，
his heart
哎，病
all
就好。
blossom. And then he got better.
他们唱的是什么呢？
What did they sing?
唱的是德行比天还高啊，
That
那你的
virtues
功
are higher
就
than the
像流
heavens.
水一样那么长，
And
德啊就像山那么高，
your merits are as long,
啊你
as
的
eternal as the flowing water, and
行
your virtues are as
的
high
功
as the
德就
mountains.
像流水那么长，
So your
就
your
赞叹须菩提
efforts or your cultivation is
啊
like
须菩提
the
因为
flowing
这
water,
天
as
人
long as the flowing
唱歌
water.
给他听，
So they
音
praise
乐是可以
Subhuti.
疗伤的，
The
音乐是
Indra
可以
god
疗病，
sang for him.
也可以疗病。
Music
须菩提的
is
功德
healing, can cure illnesses. Therefore, Subhuti got well.
大家知道吗？师尊有一次
So
得
do
蜂
you
窝性
know?
组织炎，
One time, Grandmaster
虚
got
云老和尚
cellulitis, And the
在虚
Venerable
空
Elder
中
Xu
经过，
Yun in
看
the
到我在
sky
生病，
passing by and saw I was sick.
他一只手伸过来，
So he
一直
extended
穿
one
透
of
那个
his
云，
hand,
从
passing
虚
through
云
the
的上面，
clouds.
一只手伸得
He
很长，
was from above the
伸到我的
clouds,
家
and he
里，
extended
进
his
入从
hand
屋顶进入
very
我的家
far,
里，一直
all
到
the
我
way
在
through the
病床
roof
上，
to my house. I was sitting
他
on
给
this
我
bed,
摩顶，
and he touched my
给
head
我摩顶
and blessed me.
啊，记得吗？
Do you remember?
这个虚云老和尚，
The Venerable Elder
我还
Xu
不知
Yun.
道，我现在有一尊虚云老和尚是香港
Now
十
I
方
have
同
a
修会雕的，
statue
他送给
of
我，
the Venerable Elder
常
Xu
人当
Yun
时
that
他
was
们
offered to me
送
by
给我
the
这个虚云老和
Dog
尚
Jen
的像，
Center, the Lotus
在
Light
这个医院
Charity Society of Hong Kong,
在里
Master
面
Chang Ren.
有虚云老和尚
Now
的
the
像。
image is at the Tantric Quarter.
那我跟虚云老和尚之间是有因缘的，
I had an
所
affinity
以他
with
经过
the
的时候，他
Venerable
看到
Elder
我
Xu
生病
Yun.
了，他也
That's
是一样
why
给我摩顶，
as he was passing by, he saw me sick and he gave me blessing on
然
my
后记
head
得吗？
and
我在
comforted
旅居的
me.
时候得到
And do
颞
you
脑症，
remember when
颞
I
脑
was in
把
retreat,
脑筋都快要裂开了，
I suffered from the skull
我去绕
splitting
寺，去
brain
拜佛，去绕
or
寺绕
splitting
塔，一
skull
直绕到
disease
那个
or
药师佛那里，很大尊的
syndrome.
国利亚有一尊
And
很
I
大尊的
went
药师
to
佛，
the
在室外的药师
statue
佛，
of a huge medicine Buddha
我去跟他
outdoors
当
in
做大礼，
Korea, and
去
I
到那里大礼
paid
拜，人
homage,
都
made
快要昏。
prostrations, and circumambulated
回程的
around
时候
him.
看到药师
And
如
I
来，
was very dizzy and almost
日
fainted.
药上菩
And then
萨，
on the
药
way
王
back,
菩萨，
I
药上
had the
菩萨，
vision of a
日
medicine
光偏照
Buddha
菩萨，夜光
and
偏照
medicine
菩萨，
King Bodhisattva,
十
Supreme
二药
Medicine
叉神像
Bodhisattva,
全部显现
and
出
then
来在我
Sunlight
面前，
Bodhisattva and Moonlight Bodhisattva
我
and
就
the
知
12
道我这
medicine
个病有
generals
救
all
了。
appeared in front of me.
那这
Then
也
I
是在安
knew
慰我，
that my illness would
一样
recover.
的。第四
That's the
天
same as
下
the
降，
comfort with
安
the
慰西菩提，
descent
生
of
病
the
他
Indra
们下
god
降，
to
唱
comfort
歌给
Subhuti.
西菩提听。
They descended and sang for Subhuti.
西菩提为什么能够得到这个
Why
这个
did
天人的赞
Subhuti,
叹跟洒花，跟
why
唱
could
歌给他们
Subhuti
他听？
receive
因为
praises and
他
flower
真正能够
showers
进入
and
空山
songs
内，
from the heavenly
空山内，
beings? Because he
空
could
山内
truly enter
金刚
into
经
the
的
Samaya of emptiness. And the Samaya of
金刚经
emptiness
是
is
讲
the main subject of
空
the
山
Vajra
内，
Sutra.
讲空山内，
So
摧
the
毁一
Vajra
切
Sutra
是
especially
空。
talk about the Samaya of emptiness by destroying
所
everything
以啊，
that's
这个
emptiness.
禅宗啊，到最后
Therefore,
以这个
in
金
Zen
刚经来
Buddhism,
判断，
they use the
你
Vajra
有没有
Sutra
开
to
悟，就
judge
用金刚经来
if you have
金刚
gained
经来判断。
enlightenment or
金刚
not.
经一放，你有没有开悟？
You place the
就
Vajra
给你断
Sutra,
定你有开悟，
are you
你没有
enlightened
开
or
悟，
not,
用
can
金
be
刚经来给
judged
你判断。
by the Vajra Sutra or using the
那
Vajra
今
Sutra.
天呢，就讲到这里。Om Mani
So
Padme
that's
Hum.
all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.
上